here is the secret to how I actually enjoy the holiday season instead of running around like a crazy person. The holiday season is supposed to be filled with smiles, sweet treats, and snuggles. But for a lot of us, this is an immensely stressful time of year. Tip number 1 in order to live a stress-free life during the holidays is to acknowledge that other people's opinion is none of your business. For whatever reason, when I go to sit down at the table during the holidays, everyone, even those who I haven't seen in over a year, seems to have a very passionate opinion about Emily's life project. Thankfully for me, their ill-informed opinion is none of my business, and it's really not very relevant in my life considering it's based on the tiny fragment of my reality that I choose to show them. But when I was younger, I used to contort myself into all different shapes in order to appear like someone that they would approve of, which if you've ever done so yourself, you know that's very exhausting and unsustainable for the long term. And if you want to be happy, you can't just be trying to please everyone else in your family. Me, being the typical firstborn child that I am, I always wanted people to believe that I was successful and thriving at all points in my life, which obviously was not true because I'm human and I go through difficulties as well. It feels like to me, especially during the holidays, that I have to perform almost to seem as if I'm, the perfect poster child. Doing the baking, doing the wrapping, getting everyone the right gifts, and making sure dinner's all taken care of. And it's a lot of extra stress to put on my plate to feel like everything has to be 100% beautiful and 100% perfect, and the place settings need to be laid out like Martha Stewart. I promise you, your family does not notice the perfect place setting as much as you do. They're there to be in your energy and to spend time with you. They're not critiquing whether or not you've chosen the right napkin for the setting. So learn from my mistakes and save yourself some strife. Be sure to be living your life for you, because you have to live with yourself 24/7, and the people you're trying to prove yourself to during the holidays only see you a handful of times out of the year. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily, and for my day job, I work as a civil engineer. After hours, I like to bring you my favorite personal development advice to help you grow into the ideal version of yourself and engineer your dreams. Tip number 2 to have a stress-free holiday life: don't do anything that you don't want to do. Most of the women that I know suffer from some extent with the narrative that there's a laundry list of things they have to do in order to be a good wife, a good sister, or a good mother. And I'm sure a lot of the things on the happy housemaker list do in fact make you happy, but when they feel like a chore and an obligation instead of something you're choosing to do and that's fun for you, it is so draining. And for me at least, I'm often doing a lot of these things because I want better friendships and I want better relationships. But if I'm overextending myself, giving myself to others in order to do these laundry list of chores, it's actually hurting the relationship more than it's helping, because I'm resenting myself for still having to push myself when I'm really exhausted. Resentment is at the core of all relationship failures, so if something you're doing is causing resentment within yourself or towards other people, cut it out. It's not worth your time, your energy, and even if you think it's something that you have to do in order to be the good girl, people will love you more for being able to say no and showing up as your happy, fulfilled self than they would if you were forcing yourself to make 8 different types of cookies and then be just like sad and unhappy the entire time. Now, in full transparency, I love a good fancy party. I love hosting and throwing these fun events, but even for me, like, there is a point where it turns over from being a fun activity and it becomes more of a chore. And whenever it gets into that realm of feeling like a chore is when I know I've started to overextend myself. So rein yourself back in, relax, allow it to be fun, and don't do all these holiday things because it's another task to add to your bucket list. Okay, tip number 3 for being a happy woman this holiday season: don't expect other people to give to you in the same way that you give to them. Now, I suffer a lot in familial, friendships, and romantic relationships for being the one who has a tendency to overgive, because I have a lot of love and fluff in me that I want to push out into the world, and I naturally do it. I'm not trying. Usually when I like friends or someone I'm dating, I have to hold myself back a lot to not, give too much. But there have been many times where I have given hoping that someone will give back to me, and I think that's just a recipe for disaster. If you want the gift-giving experience to be enjoyable, I think you have to give from a place of abundance and give from a stance where you're expecting to receive nothing back. It's a gift to make someone else happy. It is not a manipulation tool in order to get someone to do what you want. Now, it is a beautiful thing to have a generous and giving spirit, so if that is within your soul, please don't shut that down, and please don't let the world harden your heart. Just be aware that that loving, kind energy will not always come back to you as you give it out. So try to like direct your giving energy towards people who you know make you feel appreciated, and towards people who are also investing in you, because it can feel really depleting if you're giving to others and not getting anything back. So within the scope of gift giving, I think there are two things that are your main responsibility. One being is that you should never be giving past your own internal capacity. Capacity meaning your capacity in terms of financial investment and also your energetic investment. And then your other responsibility is to give from a place of love and not give from a place of manipulation, expecting someone else. I think those two things will help you to feel happier and enjoy the gift giving process more. Okay, tip number 4 to be a happy woman this holiday season is to give yourself a license to be imperfect. Yes, my firstborn child syndrome is showing again. I do have a tendency towards perfectionism, and I think there are a few videos on this channel that can help you guys to let go of your perfectionist tendencies, but I always want things in my life to be as beautiful and sparkly as humanly possible, and around the holiday season, that can kind of get out of control sometimes. And I tell myself these stories of like all the things I have to do in order for something to be just right. And like I said before, like no one else is noticing all the things you're doing to like make something optimally pretty or perfect or to come out just the way you expected. It's really only your head. So all of this pressure you're putting on yourself is really just a form of self-flagellation. So please cut it out. I know that some of the brightest, happiest moments in my holiday experience have always been the ones where I've allowed myself to be more playful. And I can't be my playful present self when I'm also hyper overthinking about making everything perfect. So if you want to have more fun this holiday season, allow yourself to play, allow yourself to be present, and let go of the mentality that everything you have to do has to come out perfectly glittery and sparkly. Even though I love glitter as much as the next woman, I know that sometimes it's more fun if you just allow it to be a little more casual and tone it down a bit. But don't take that the wrong way. Obviously, we're still wearing a cute outfit. All right, my final tip to be a happy, healthy, wealthy woman this holiday season is to acknowledge that your presence is in fact the present. I know you spent a lot of time gift giving. I know you spent a lot of time preparing for all of your guests to arrive and play the happy hostess. I know you are. But people are here for your energy. They're here to spend time with you. And they're here to connect with you on a deeper level. And you can't do that if you're stressed thinking about all the things you have to do to be the perfect Betty Crocker. And you also can't do that if you're hyper fixated on all your technological devices. I know I'm addicted to technology as much as the next person. I probably spend more time on my phone and computer than most people creating content for you guys. But honestly, it is really detrimental to your relationships to have this screen between you and the person you're trying to connect with. I know it can be commonplace to be texting all the time when you're like out to dinner at someone's house, but I personally think it's kind of rude. And that's probably because I come from a family that didn't used to let me, be on my phone at the dinner table. But anytime you're pulling up your phone in someone else's presence, you're subconsciously telling them your phone is more interesting and more important than them. And to say that even subconsciously to anyone in your family is pretty rude. So please don't do it. Cut it out. Take the time to actually connect with the people around the holiday season. You don't have a lot of time together with a lot of your family because, we have very busy lives. So if we can all make the effort to be more present in the slim time we have together, I think we'll all be happier for it. There are some members of my family that I truthfully only see once or twice a year, and I'm never gonna wish that I spent more time scrolling on Instagram during the holidays, but I'm certainly gonna wish that I spent more time actually getting to know my aunts and uncles and talking to my cousins, because life is so short and time passes so quickly. So take every moment you have to experience it and connect with your loved ones. Alright everyone, if you've made it to this part of the video, thank you so much for being one of my true fans. I have very exciting news for you guys. It is official, I am now a certified coach thanks to the teachers at Wellbeing Institute, and I will be launching my online coaching program. So if there's anything I can do to help you on your personal development journey, definitely sign up in the link below. Have a great day guys, and happy holiday season.